All right, welcome back to Aaron's 1972 Datsun 510. You hear a lot of construction behind me because they're building houses all around me. Today, I'm actually going to put in the rear floorboard. That's good news because this car's been off the road for about a month and a half, and I'm really excited to drive it again. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to punch holes here in order to plug weld it into place. Once I've plug welded it into place, I will then go ahead and start working on the rocker panel. But yeah, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get out the hole punch that you saw me use on yesterday's video. It's a really cool tool and it works really well. And once I get that done, I'll go ahead and start tacking her into place. All right, so if you didn't see the video that I made yesterday, which will probably be in your time, something completely different, I got this air punch flange tool from Harbor Freight, and it punched through this metal just fine. So now we're going to see how well it punches through this metal while I make the different welds so I can then plug weld this into place. So all you got to do, put up the air, got a little bit of an air leak around the fittings, just come through here, slide it into place, and looks like it works easy enough. There we go. And just like that, I've got 1, 2, 14, 15, 16 holes punched. No need to run a drill and no metal shavings all over the floor, just nice little round circular holes that have been punched out and are easy to sweep up. And they don't get stuck in the side of your foot as metal shavings do. That's good news. But I'm going to switch to a time lapse and sort of get this All right, so I've sprayed on the copper weld. I actually did 2 coats. I only showed 1 coat in the video or in the last time lapse, but I've put 2 coats both on here as well as on here. Now I'm going to clamp them into place, and then I'm going to start doing the tack welds along the way. One of the harder things about this is just trying to get this clamped right up against this sill piece so that way it fits nice and snug. But keep watching. Hopefully we'll do a good job here, and you won't be completely appalled at my welding skills. All right, so I've got the floor tacked in along the side sills. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tack it in along the way. As you saw, I used the copper weld on the sides, and now I'm just continuing around the corners, finishing up the plug welds. isn't pretty, but I've got the rear floorboard in. Some of the things that I noticed while I was doing it, which made me have to redo the way I was doing it, is that I had been just trying to force the new floor pan down to the old floor pan, but in doing that, I was actually bowing the whole entire floor downward. So I ended up having to get a jack out and actually go underneath the old floor pan, jack it up, and then hammer down. So that way, instead of sort of bending downward to meet at a point like this, they more overlapped. So that way I didn't have a whole bunch of excess and just droop down. The floor pan is definitely much better than what it was. I'm going to go ahead and use the grinder, clean all this up, and go from there. But this is the floorboard in place. I definitely think that this portion of the car is much more sturdy than it was previously. Even grabbing on the lower sill here, it's definitely much more fixed in place, so that's good news. Once I get that done, I need to recreate this portion of the seat brace, and then I'll be done with the interior, and we'll be able to move towards the rocker panel.